Hey guys, welcome back. BDCKR here, and we're back with our weekly recap of all things Injustice. Getting right into the meat of it, the current challenge is for Ame Kami Catwoman, and that's for 1 week. The required characters are Bane, Joker, and Killer Frost, which is silver, and challenge gold. Boo.
Yeah, that's a bit of a what I call a dick move in the technical term.
Yeah, because you need a different challenge character to get this challenge character, which, you know.
Well, anything that makes it harder to actually start the game is not a good thing in my books.
Mm-hmm.
So, Amikami, how did you pronounce it? Is it like
I don't know if I pronounced
Japanese
it right.
kind of inflection where it's every syllable is emphasized the same way?
See, you asked, and now I'm going to say it a different way. Ame Kame Catwoman.
All right, so she's got decent stats, but her passive really isn't that great. It doesn't trigger enough to be useful. So what it says is that she's got damage over time and power drain on combo ender that stacks up to 3 times, which sounds great. But, all right, you don't get a combo ender with every tap combo. And it's only a 25% chance that you do damage over time power drain. So the likelihood of getting to stack once before it runs out, never mind 3 times, is practically nil. And just as a point of comparison, if it was 100% on combo ender, like Kandak Black Adam's passive, it would make a difference in fights, but even then it still wouldn't be enough to build a team strategy around it. You okay?
Yeah, just cleared my throat.
Right.
I still have a little bit of something, but I'll make it through. I'll soldier on.
All right. So this week's multiplayer reward is Time Capsule, which becomes Quake Engine.
Yeah, and unfortunately, because this is a specialist gear, it basically has to be compared to Tantu Totem.
Well, in the world with Tantu Totem, there's nothing else that can be better.
Yeah.
I mean, it's still useful. It's really good for a subset of specialists that focus on damage over time, right?
Yeah.
Because increasing damage over time when the enemy has less than a bar of power and retriggering it on the current opponent after it runs out, there's a big part of the reason why we have that on our Injustice 2 Aquaman in our weekly Justice League team.
Yeah.
And the other abilities, like the Power Steal and Special 2, it's only 40% chance. So I'm really never trying to exploit that ability. And increasing tag cooldown when you use a Joker character, that's all right. But none of the Jokers are good enough to make me want to use a Joker for damage over time specialist instead of, say, Arkham Knight Catwoman or Injustice 2 Aquaman. So, decent character. Definitely you need to have it if it's complete. It's not... That Catwoman is not game-changing for sure.
Yeah. Moving on to the store, we've got the Holiday Bundle, which we have mentioned before. It's got a 2% chance at each of the medals, 2% chance of what they call epic, but we call legendary, 4.5 star.
Yeah, that's what we
gears.
call them. Yeah.
Yeah,
I don't think anybody else has picked up that nomenclature.
That's okay.
They should.
Yeah. And so that's for
right.
$25.99 if you're in Canada, in Canadian dollars.
Yeah, Canadian dollars. It's not worth it to us. It's tempting if there are any legendary gears that Android users haven't been able to get for more than a year.
Yeah.
But I think it's still too expensive for what it is, even if you're missing all those other Survivor gears.
Yeah, I agree. We also have the Blackest Night booster pack with Batman, Hawkgirl, and Martian Manhunter for 666,000 credits. And it looks like that's meant to coincide with the completion of the Blackest Night Flashes season,
Because
give or
hopefully
take.
everybody just got that reward for last week's season.
Yeah, and it's a decent price if you don't have any of them. And it is still tempting if you only need 1 or 2 of them. Like anything else, really, even if it's not incredible, any pack that gives you 3 guaranteed gold characters, especially if they are all of the same kind of team set, is pretty solid.
Yeah, and they are all not normally available in the store.
Yeah.
Right? Blackest Night and Batman and Hawkgirl, I believe, were challenges. And Martian Manhunter, was he a challenger or was he multiplayer? I don't remember.
Yeah, I'm not 100% sure, but if you look at the price of challenge packs, this definitely makes it a lot more stomachable of a cost. And they don't get unlocked in the store when you buy them, but ideally you'd be able to get them all the way up just from this if you didn't have them otherwise. No, you can take this one.
All right, so Antimatter Sinestro Cash Pack, $27.54, which is a funny number, I guess, with the exchange rate, is why they did it like that.
Fake Canadian money. Maybe you want to clear your throat there.
Yeah,
there we go. We're both having trouble.
So it's
There we go.
It's definitely not worth the money, and as a point of comparison, I believe, if I'm remembering correctly, Amikami Catwoman's early access pack last week was only like $13.
Yeah.
And even that wasn't worth it at twice the price.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, even less of a deal at twice the price.
Yeah, and we have a video that I think we're gonna link in the description or you'll be able to access it somehow.
Yeah.
Where we showed him off when League of Assassins gear is broken, and he could repeatedly trigger Power Steal without tagging out, just by hitting his force tag out over and over and over again, just with a special one.
Right. Because now when they fixed League of Assassins gear set to only to actually work the way the description says,
Yeah.
I won't say it broke it, but it meant that Antimatter Sinestro was no longer as good, because he's the one guy, I think, that can force tag outs
Yeah.
repeatedly.
I think that was an example where they really should have just updated the description, because it wasn't really broken, right? He was good in an interesting way, but it wasn't like a broken setup still, I don't really think.
It might have been just unbalancing a little bit too
Yeah,
much.
you know what, that's fair.
All right, and the nth metal packs are still there. We've talked about them in last week's summary of the 3.1 update.
Yeah.
They're still there. Reminder, if you're gonna glitch to get the refund, the 200 pack is, in my mind, the best. But if you're gonna go for the best value, the Pro might actually be better than the Ultimate if you're not interested in if you're not that interested in the Epic or 4.5 star gears.
Yeah. Moving on to kind of not official Injustice stuff. This is all the stuff that you wouldn't actually see like in an update note or talked about by the developers at all. Survivor, broken on Android. It's only giving out Suicide Squad companion gears. Has been for a very long time.
Yeah, more than a year now.
Yeah, and I mean, it's saying it's giving out Suicide Squad companion gears right now, until the 2nd of January 2019.
So technically it's correct, but it's broken in the same way I've said this before. An analog clock that's broken is still right twice a day.
Yeah.
So it's still wrong. I hope they fix it soon. That's probably the worst
I like
thing
that
right
you
now.
specifically said analog, because the digital clock can just be broken beyond the point of legibility.
Right, because you can't see anything. It's not like a broken digital clock is wrong all the time.
That's true, unless it is displaying an incorrect time, unless it has stopped. You can also break a hand off an analog clock,
That's true too.
and then it's not really right or wrong. It's
then
sort of just incomplete.
Would you just assume that the minute hand is overlapping the hour hand?
No, because you're thinking about like a visual representation
That's
of an
right.
analog clock. I'm thinking about an actual physical analog clock.
yeah.
You would be able to
Okay.
probably notice that
That's true.
that they didn't exist.
Although, if you look at the idea of an analog clock, it's got enough redundancy built in that if the minute hand is gone but the hour hand is still there...
You can still technically see the exact time.
Exactly.
Yeah, but
Yeah.
you kind of have to estimate.
That's right.
It's got a low amount of precision.
That's right. I totally grant you that.
Yeah. Weird sidetrack. Moving on to the current glitches, just remember that every glitch is explained in a video as part of the playlist that you can reach by clicking the eye in the top right corner of this video, and we keep that updated. So the videos in that playlist are all the glitches that are working as far as we're aware from the moment that you're looking at it.
Right. If you are on... So we're Android only, so if you're on iOS and you see a question from an iOS user asking for help in the comments, please consider helping out. And maybe the added value that we really do contribute in this weekly recap isn't to say what's working so much, which we will do anyways, but to say what's not working.
That's true.
So the glitch to get season rewards early, not working. The glitch for getting it repeatedly is not working. The reason I'm specifically singling those out is not working because those were the most recent ones to get credits. And there's no glitch to get through Phantom so quickly either. There was one recently, not anymore. Now, so let's get into what's working.
Yeah, the breakthrough glitch, let you play it repeatedly, is still working, and we've cut and pasted into the description a comment from a viewer who has a potential solution for people who are having trouble playing extra breakthroughs. We can't confirm whether this works since we're not having the same problem, but you can go ahead and check that out. And the challenge reset method that requires Google Play Cloud Save is working, confirmed on the current Amekame Catwoman challenge.
Right.
So now there's only one challenge reset again, and the verbiage has gotten a little bit easier for describing it.
So, and there have been some comments actually that I've seen that people were saying that the challenge reset also resets the Phantom Zone, and I want to talk about that just a little bit because we have not had that same experience. So it's not the case for us after having completed it.
Yeah.
And part of me wonders if some people are resetting it before they finish, And to me, that seems like an even less efficient use of time trying to accumulate nth metal.
Yeah.
Because to me, the biggest value of completing the Phantom Zone is both the nth metal and a chance at the metal characters at the end, which is worth the equivalent of a pack at least, right?
Yeah.
So if you're resetting it before that point, like when you've got some progress in your Phantom Zone, you reset it before you've actually had a chance to get the final reward after getting all 5 crystals, then that means you're only accumulating nth metal and valorium really slowly. And that's got to be painful. So, and here's the thing. If the valorium, so that's probably the only way you can farm valorium. So if it really mattered, so if valorium could be used for anything other than just upgrading the metals, it might even be worth it to try to reset it.
Yeah.
I guess maybe if we interpret it, we shouldn't assume that when people point out glitch, it's something to do, because this might be a warning not to do it. If you're going to do a challenge reset, don't do it when you have partial progress on the Phantom Zone, on the possibility that it might actually remove your progress.
Yeah, we might actually need to test that with like a very small amount of progress on the Phantom Zone,
Right.
just to see how that
Because
works.
we've tested it on this account, which you can see in the background video, where we've not only completed Phantom Zone, we've completed 3 more times, paying 50 nth metal each time.
Yeah.
And it shows that it's finished, and I've tested on this account, and it does not reset the progress.
It might reset the timer for how many times you can complete it, though. Maybe it lets you pay again. That would be valuable.
It's possible. I honestly, I'm suspicious, but yeah, it's possible.
Yeah.
I might do some more testing over the next week or so.
The airplane mode / refund glitch is still working. That's good for packs with random drops and last laugh tickets. We should point out that it doesn't work in the Phantom Zone for us because it requires an online connection. We've seen people saying that by logging out before the final boss fight and switching accounts immediately if you don't like your reward is an option to reroll for your Phantom Zone portal reward, but we haven't been able to get it to work, even if we clear app data, and it looks like, from what we can see, that a lot of the people commenting saying that it works are iOS users.
So I want to point out the difference, though. Even though the airplane glitch will not work in the Phantom Zone, it does work on the nth metal packs, because you don't need a connection to when you're in the store buying stuff.
Yeah, and that's important because Jonathan Hung made a very excellent point that metal cards sell for 240 nth metal, and the cheapest pack costs 200 nth metal. 40 nth metal if you're willing to put in the work to do the resets.
Right, so for each time you get your metal character back, you get 40 nth metal each time, and that's a decent way to...
Yeah.
Well, I shouldn't say decent, it's the only way right now to farm nth metal properly with a glitch.
Yeah, and what you need to actually farm nth metal that way is one of each of the 3 metal cards to work, but if you don't have that, the first 3 times you do it, you get an nth metal card, so that's kind of...
Right. So
your short-term setup and your long-term goal kind of intersect.
And once you've got at least 1 copy of each of the 3 metal cards, then every nth metal pack you buy, you don't care which one you get, and instead of
promoting them.
But instead of it's 3 times as likely that you'll be able to accumulate nth metal each time.
That's true.
So it's actually faster once you get all 3.
Yeah. Time shifting.
Yeah,
works
still
in
works.
Android.
Yep,
Yeah.
for sure. And we can get unlimited survivor play and energy recharges with that. Always bring your countdown clock back to normal before you finish, though. Yep. Free energy without having to watch a video still works, and it doesn't happen a lot, but we've been getting our button ungrayed out intermittently. And
It's good to be back.
It's good to be back. And we've cut and pasted one iOS user's, Dragons952, who's got a potential solution into the description. If the free energy button is grayed out, we can't confirm whether it's effective or not, because clearly we are Android only.
Yeah. The promotion glitch where you can promote characters is still locked. Hasn't had the right conditions since update 2.14. I don't think we need to say anything else about it at this point.
Yep. And that's it.
To finish up, we have a Patreon. If you want to give us money, you can give us money. And I mean, really, more than giving us money, it is supporting us and, showing us. It's just another way to show us that you support us.
Yeah.
But that's, I guess, kind of what the upfront cost is on your end. And you can do that by clicking our avatar in the bottom right corner at the end of this video, going to patreon.com/bdckr. But as always, most importantly, much more important than us plugging our Patreon, is giving thanks to the people who have already made the decision to support us on Patreon.
And have been for a while.
Yeah.
A big thank you to Console Peasant, Eddie G, and Edwin Felix, who are supporting us at the top tier, Last Word. iProfit, who's supporting us at the Your Message Here tier. Sean Farrell, Daniel Simonson, who are supporting us on the credited level. And Chris Wolf and Lazo Georgiades, who were supporting us at a level that did not actually require any kind of perk, but what the heck.
Yeah, they have earned our appreciation by supporting us.
Yeah,
They haven't paid for it, but they have earned it the same as everyone else.
Yeah.
So there we go. Thank you guys all so much for watching, and we'll see you next time.
Komoda.